In this video of the Canon EF Lens 101 series, we're going to talk about a type of special purpose lens called TSE, or tilt-shift lenses. This discussion will be a little more technical because of the nature of tilt-shift photography. But for the creative and experienced photographer, they can be a really excellent problem solver. Serious photographers reach for them to get great images of architecture, interiors, landscapes, products, and even portraits. Tilt-shift lenses are mechanically different from ordinary wide-angle or telephoto lenses. Their optics can be moved or shifted, up or down, or left or right, to correct perspective in a picture. And in addition, the front section of the lens can be tilted at an angle, upward or downward, or left or right. This can change the plane of what's in sharp focus. One easy example to illustrate the tilt-shift concept is using a wide-angle lens to photograph a building. Normally, we're used to the vertical lines leaning inward, almost like a pyramid. This is what happens if we aim the lens a bit upward to get the whole building in. But if we use a tilt-shift lens, like the wide-angle 17mm or 24mm TSE lenses, we can correct this. Aim the camera so it's looking straight ahead, not upward. Then use the shift feature to raise the front section of the lens, and more of the building appears, and the perspective of those vertical lines remains straight. There's no more pyramid effect. To the critical photographer, this ability to capture subjects accurately can be a real reason to consider investing in a Canon TSE lens. The tilt function is different. This can let a photographer change the plane of what's in sharp focus. In situations where you cannot get everything sharp, front to back, tilting the lens can often place that sharpness so the entire subject or scene is sharp, near to far. Scenic and landscape pictures are one example. Sometimes, even if you use a small aperture, like f/22, you may not be able to get an entire scene near to far in sharp focus. But by tilting the front of the lens so it's closer to being parallel with the surface of the subject, you can get that sharp detail you're looking for. The same thing applies to any situation where you want an entire subject to be tack sharp, whether you're shooting a car at an angle or even a cereal box in a studio. And the opposite is true too. When you tilt the lens the other way, you can really limit what's in sharp focus and get that distinct look that's difficult or impossible to achieve with a conventional lens. Some photographers or videographers capture distant subjects this way for what's called the miniature effect. Canon makes an entire series of TSE lenses, from a super wide 17mm lens to a strong 135mm telephoto version. They're all pro-grade L-series lenses with outstanding sharpness and strong, precise construction. Because of the optical nature of tilt-shift lenses, all Canon TSE lenses are manual focus lenses. A Canon tilt-shift lens may not be the first lens the average photographer invests in, but they're a strong option for advanced amateurs and professionals who want the flexibility, and a reason that many photographers look to Canon as a system they can grow with as their photography grows.